to create a space to help you make your way through the world.
I think when you gotta stop living up here, start living down here.
The way to do that is
safe space
for
depravity.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary folk. This is a Safe Space for Depravity podcast. I am Wellington Boyce.
And I'm Quinn Lemieux.
What's going on, man?
So, actually, as we were just getting ready to record this, I got a notification on my phone that says, from Chipotle, that says, remember to check in on somebody today.
What's up with Chipotle?
Nothing more than that. Just remember to check in on somebody today. So I'm passing that along. I guess this is now.
Who'd you check up on?
No one yet, but I remember. You want me to check up on you?
Yeah, let's check up.
Okay. Okay. How you doing? Everything good?
Well, lately I've really been struggling.
And just so YouTube doesn't knows that I'm not bluffing.
I've been struggling since probably last Sunday.
True.
Yeah.
You have a long drive back, or? Oh no, that was me.
Yeah. But I've had this just 3-day long hangover, where my body's like adjusting back to being a human being. Like, yesterday was the first time where I felt like pretty normal. Like, I still couldn't really stomach water, or not stomach water, but like my water doesn't taste the same. Like, it's not like refreshing. It's just like, like I gotta drink this though, because I don't know why. It's just when you put so much alcohol in your body after a while, and especially in our old age now, after punishing it for so many years, it's become a task to recover the damage that has been done after a few brews. Because last weekend when y'all were in town, we definitely we wilded out a little bit. Hadn't seen each other in a minute, hadn't been together in a minute like that. So it was cool. But I definitely needed like a detox, and I've just been doing that because Lord knows my body was just I was not okay on Monday. Like, I didn't drink Sunday, still hungover, but like it was a different hangover. Monday was like, I'm fatigued. I thought I got COVID because I felt sick. I was like, I was just like, nothing.
We had overcome the vaccine via alcohol.
Like, yeah. Like, I didn't have any symptoms after getting the second vax. I had symptoms that day. I was just like, I'm not doing so hot. Like, at work, I just started getting like feverish and sweating for no reason. I was sitting in there just like, I'm like, what is going on? I need a nap.
Yeah, I feel you. It hurts. I think you get to your late 20s and immediately have a mandatory Monday off after any weekend.
Yeah, no, straight up. Because, and the thing is, y'all came up a day early, technically. So we drank Thursday morning, night, or Friday morning, Thursday night. We drank Friday. I don't know. No, we didn't really drink that much on Friday until later that night. And then Saturday was just an all-day event. Saturday was just, I didn't have coffee. I knew that. Yeah. Friday I was able to get a cup of coffee, and Saturday is just wake up, start it over.
Yeah, it was a lot. I mean, it was good, but it was a lot.
Yeah, I hate that we're talking like, dude, I drank so much this weekend. Like, you don't even know. I had like 25 beers.
Wow.
I won't say 25.
It was one of those things where it's like, you get let out the pen after a year and a half, and
finally someone let me out of my cage.
Little too many tipsy pops. So thanks, Chipotle, for sponsoring this segment of the podcast. It's a really weird
Come on the
thing.
show.
Actually, let me open this and see where it goes. Oh, straight to the menu. Okay, nothing more there.
I think it was probably like an advertising type of like, hey, check up on yourself.
Yeah,
Self love.
check up and check out in the new Chipotle app.
Wow. Wow. Fucking devious Chipotle. We thought you were checking out on mental health or mental health. No. Just buy a burrito.
Yeah, that's cool. Um, especially on a Thursday when Tijuana Flats is running deals. You really just
Is
really
today
just-
Thursday?
Yes. Today is Thursday.
Damn. I've not been keeping track. It's the hangover.
So Demi Lovato coming out as non-binary.
We love it. We love a non-binary. What's a non-binary regal person? Because you can't say king or queen.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Question
Non-binary.
of the ages.
Yeah. Non-binary folk do not have a regal term.
What?
Okay. Okay. We've got a flaw in the system. Monarchy has come so far,
Lord?
and it will be defeated by the LGBTQ plus.
I mean, like, of course you have the yes queen. Like, it's insinuated, like, oh, hey, uh, I guess that's very LGBTQ like friendly. It was queen, but at the same time, if you're non-binary, queen is usually aimed towards the woman of power.
There's something in this that's problematic. I'm just not aware enough to know what
I'm
it
not.
is.
No. Okay. So we're not gunning for anybody. It's just something I just like. It just hit me. I was like, what is the? I mean, but I don't know. Yes, but also Demi Lovato's been pissing a lot of people off though lately.
Let me. Yeah. I
So,
was.
I don't know if this is like a weird transition of like, oh hey, I need to get these people off my back and back on my side. So, because people have been again bullying Demi Lovato. But she's very tone deaf.
Yeah.
I've been hearing.
Here's the thing. As far as and I don't know exactly where the nomenclature falls, so don't come for me. But like,
That's a nice word. That's a nice word.
Caitlyn Jenner comes out as trans and like sets the world on fire for a little bit, but she's a shitty person. I mean,
Yeah, no, not only that, but she's almost anti like
Yeah.
she's for the gay, like she wants to what is it reform the gay marriage title thing or whatever. Didn't she recently say that?
She said something along the lines of like, well, I believe a marriage is between a man and a woman, and now like she's doing like this little thing for California governor. And
But it makes no fucking sense because Caitlyn, you are a woman who has exclusively said, "Oh no, this doesn't change my sexuality. Like I'm still very attracted to women." So you are a gay woman.
Hassan Piker was talking on a stream the other day, like when she announced her run for California governor, or like was talking about it, and he's like, it's honestly kind of another milestone for the community to have the first anti-trans person out there. And to be honest, he's not wrong. Like, it is almost incredible that we've now circled back to like, oh my God, there's so much love and acceptance, and then a trans person is like, I hate y'all. I will actively work to keep all of y'all down. This is how quickly this has come full circle in the last 5 years. And then Demi Lovato, who I think most people will say is probably just a bully. All of the stuff that's come out about her, just not being a nice person.
They've called her a crackhead too.
All of that stuff, and I feel like we just. I think Elliot Page has been the biggest win for the trans community in a while.
Yeah.
Super non-problematic. Maybe not the most famous, but not a lot of people have a bone to pick with him.
Nor the best actor.
I mean, Juno was good.
Juno is straight. Have you seen it again? It's like since.
No.
It's like okay. I forgot is it Paul Rudd who's the guy? No, Jason Bateman. Pretty close.
Yeah.
All white guys are the same. But Jason Bateman and Juno, like, it makes it creepy. Like their relationship in Juno makes it super weird. Like he has this like
Jason Bateman
cool.
in and of himself cannot be creepy. I don't know what it is. He
And
had
You got to watch Juno though. As weird as he is, like I love Jason Bateman. He's hilarious, but like in Juno, that relationship between him and Juno is very very strange because she's a high school girl and of course giving birth to their future adopted kid.
Mhm.
But like he invites her over to his like music room and he's like, "Oh, you like this? Well, I recommend that." And sure, it could be seen as a very healthy like platonic relationship. Still a high school child. Still kind of weird. And then like Jennifer Gardner's the wife
Mhm.
and she finds it weird as well. She's like, "That's why are you over so
I
much?"
think the problem there is the casting because everybody hates Jennifer Garner. I think that's true. So it's like you don't even believe her. You know what I mean? You're like, hey, why are you messing up this guy's relationship with your future baby mama surrogate situation, Jennifer Garner? Quit being mean to both of them. They're just trying to do the best that they know how. But if it were anybody else, I mean, it would probably make more sense. But I get it. And I think that movie in and of itself is just a movie about people doing the best that they can.
Yeah, it's
Like
very indie.
Michael, yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
whole ordeal is someone who's directing this movie as best as they can, who's producing it, editing, music soundtrack choices as best as they can.
Hey, we need comedic relief. How about orange Tic Tacs?
Jesus, man. Like, see, now you're getting it. How it's kind of a very mundane movie, and it's not as it's like Napoleon Dynamite. Napoleon Dynamite, if you watch it now, it's such a just oh okay. But when it came out, and for the years later on, where like people still say your mom's like, bro, oh, it's iconic, of course, but it's still such a very subpar movie that should have never really. I won't say should have never, but it didn't really
Don't
like
say that.
it.
I'm not
It
scared of you.
it didn't further creativity of like movies. Honestly, that's how I feel. There was nothing really creatively different about Napoleon Dynamite. It was strictly indie. Didn't take itself very seriously, but it just went.
All right, here's the question. Without Napoleon Dynamite, how much of Seth Rogen exists?
Uh,
How much rope are we willing to give things that are funny because they're dumb?
Man, I mean, I feel like Seth Rogen. I can't think of the first thing Seth Rogen is or was in, like aside from Freaks and Geeks, but like him writing and shit. Like wasn't Super bad he wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say that's his first movie. I would say that's his first directed movie. So that is a
Produced 40-year-old version,
oh yeah, okay.
Pineapple
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Express. Um,
So 40-year-old virgin. I'd put 40-year-old virgin and super bad around the same time frame because yeah, like he was just knocking shit out. But it's still good. Like Superbad, you can watch again and be like, yeah, this is still hilarious. Very problematic in certain situations, but like it's still funny and it's still peak comedy. It's up there in the classics. I don't I'm gonna die on that hill. It's up there in the classics, and it's the closest thing that we have to a classic within the past 2 decades of comedy movies. Yeah, oof. Yeah, I'm sticking on that.
okay.
Well, 2001. I'll say the past decade then. I'll say
Okay.
the past decade. Because since then, like since that era of movies and comedy, there's name the last extremely funny comedy movie that you watched.
Um, I really enjoyed 22 Jump Street for being a sequel that recognized it was a sequel.
So that came out in the last. Okay, so in the last 8 years.
Yeah, something like that.
So in the last 5 years, we've had nothing to touch a good like comedy movie. 22 Jump Street, phenomenal because it was a sequel and it was just better than the second or the first one. Almost better. I don't know. Depends
To
on
be honest,
who's.
are they making comedy movies right now? You know what I mean? Like in the past 5 years, like are they?
Because no one can. No one can because the way things have changed with social media, comedy is just at our fingertips. With Vine changed the whole shout out to my hat. But Vine changed the whole fucking game with movies because of course everybody wants to be an actor once they get their social media fame and they want to be in comedy movies if they do skits and stuff like that online, but none of those movies pan out. King Batch has been in God knows how many fucking Netflix movies, pretty much all bombs. I mean, I like some of them, but they're bombs. No one's really like, oh, this was a hilarious movie. They're all bombs, and he can't get out of that because the way Netflix is trying to pander to the younger audience, you can't get because it's older people. Even millennials are trying to like get to the younger kids, but the same comedy doesn't work with them. Like, sure, they grew up on Vine, but now they're saying a lot of the old Vines are like, this is not that good. Why did we like this? There's only those very select few, the very cult classic Vines where it's like Adam and
Yeah,
Miss Keisha, like those
yeah.
hilarious, always timeless, and like shout out to the legend Danny Lopriori with "Let me suck your titties, baby." Like those are just
Mhm.
timeless. But my content, I work with most of the kids that or like most like 21 or whatever. Most of those people when I was making vines were watching my shit and don't even know it. And I didn't make like impactful stuff. So with movies, it's hard to even do that with how fast everything is changing with our taste in comedy. Like people are just like, oh, there was that whole debate on Twitter. Like Vine wasn't that funny. It was for its time, but people's sense of humor has changed drastically, especially because now it's like you got to be conscious of offending people and stuff like that. That's why people are like, "Oh, being a stand-up comedian is the hardest thing now because you got a bunch of snowflakes." No, it's not. Just don't fucking offend people. But people can't do that. They can't hone in on the comedy and being funny naturally without trying to hurt and attack other people.
Mhm.
And that's why people have just drifted away from trying to make comedy movies from now on, like for the time being. Damn, that was a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something there. I don't know exactly what it is, but it does feel like things have definitely things have definitely changed in in a specific way. But it's also I also kind of feel like the other side of it is like you look at like how many like comedians are just like cashing out on like YouTube and podcasting and like that
Yeah.
type of thing. So it's like it's also kind of it feels like it's moved to something else right now. Like I'd be curious to see what like a what like a really good comedy looks like right now. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it just takes the right people. Like even comedy, the comedy shows are working, but a lot of the comedy shows are tied with drama. Like you have Issa Rae with Insecure, where it's like it's real life situations, but it's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more real life situational drama events and stuff like that. Atlanta, fucking relatable shit, but it's drama based, but it's hilarious in its own ways because if you are from Atlanta or have any sense of Atlanta, or even just as a black individual in America, there's certain things you're just like, okay, oh wow, oh
I,
wow, and,
I,
and
I
it's
I
just,
think
it works.
I think another kind of show that was in that vein for its time was Louis on FX.
See, I never watched Louis. I see. I was never really a C.K. fan, and everybody would always talk about him. But I'm just like, why do I want to watch this white ginger like balding dude get on stage when there's like other people? But maybe that's just how I was, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I never. He said funny things from clips that I've seen, but it never really
It was
just.
it
I
was
want to sit
like
down for an hour to watch it.
it was like a watered down God, I don't even really know what to compare it to. It was like a watered down, like white Atlanta. You know what I'm talking about? Like where Atlanta is like, it's really good.
An unseasoned Atlanta.
Yeah, like I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, Atlanta. There's funny parts in Atlanta that like go around like real drama and that bring up like societal issues. But this is more like the challenges of being an awkward white guy. You know what I mean? So like, there's funny parts in that. Like, there's a scene in there where
I do that.
yeah, exactly. Like there's a scene in there where they're like hosting like a banquet or a dinner party or something like that, and it's for the school, and the lady's like, "Hey, listen," or Louis like, "Hey, I'd love to get involved. Is there anything I can bring?" And she's like, "Nobody's done dessert," and he's like, I can't. I can't make. Can I just bring chicken? Can I just bring fried chicken? I make really good fried chicken. She's like, well, we have kind of all the. And he goes, I don't care. I don't know how to make anything else. Can I please just bring my fried chicken? It's just like I can just imagine being like the single dad, just being like, I'd love to participate in this, but I don't know how to do anything. Can I please just do the one thing I know how to do really well, and just move on with this whole thing? But,
yeah, there's no real shows that I don't know right now that aren't stricken with like situational relatable stuff more so now than back then, because back then it was just like, oh, what can we do that's hilarious? Like Always Sunny is still fucking good. Somehow I don't know how they've been rolling with the punches to like stay in their lane at the same time while being relevant with the current times.
It's four awful people doing awful things. You know what I mean? Like, it's a group of
Yeah.
awful people doing awful things. So it's like,
Yeah,
you can get behind the message there. Whereas like I don't know. Whereas like you have like the Simi Valley approach, kind of the same thing. It's like, hey, let's look at four dumb people being dumb. It's like it's hard to go into this thing of like, I don't know, like it sounds weird, but like taking a comedy seriously. You know what I mean? Like you have to put it under the veil of like, okay, we don't like this person, so he gets to say whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Or like I don't know, something along those lines. Like there,
Like having an anti-hero or something in the lines of like the sense of comedy. In the sense of like comedy just having a because you have what's his fucking name? Getter's character.
Bryce.
Bryce with just that one scene of like, get your boy, dog. Get your boy.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, he's a terrible person.
Yeah.
He's an awful individual, but it's fucking hilarious because he's trying to fight a baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Straight up.
So, yeah. So I don't know. It's just comedy right now is of itself of just being like to whoever is watching. Like hearing the other day that our podcast is boy humor. And I was like, what the fuck? This is not boy humor. And then I kind of like sat back and listened to our conversation from last week. And I'm just like, this is good, but I can get why a lot of like girls or women wouldn't want to watch it because it's guys laughing at things that guys think is funny. It's dumb shit. Like I just saw a TikTok today where Tom Segura and what's his name?
Bert Kreischer.
Yeah, Bert's over here drinking a 64 ounce out of like a Kool-Aid thing. And he's just like, it's Kool-Aid. He's like, you got Kool-Aid in there? And then it progresses. It's like, oh, you really have Kool-Aid. And I'm dying because he's just like, people are going to be on the street looking at you thinking you're drinking a 64 ounce
that guy's really
jug
healthy.
of water. It's just like, oh, good for that guy. And he's just drinking Kool-Aid. And I thought that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where I'm like, this is funny for probably just guys.
Dude, the most innocent part of that entire thing, I'm like, you could just tell that Bert had no idea why Tom was laughing at him. But he's like, what flavor is that? And he just goes, red.
Red. I was like, oh yeah, you definitely went to school in Tallahassee.
Yeah, it's just like,
you definitely were hanging out with FAMU folk.
Like,
red.
But yeah, red. It's just so...
Once he said that, I was like, God.
I don't know. I mean, it is weird how different stuff hits different people, but also like the same time, I don't know if it's appropriate to label it, boy humor. Like it makes people laugh, so maybe it's just humor, but because if that phrase got turned around, and it was like, well, this is girl humor. It'd be like, well, you're a dickhead. It's like,
Well, I don't think so. I don't think that's fair because there's a show on HBO. There's I think it's the Black Girl Comedy Sketch Show. I think that's what it's called, and it is. It's a cast of 4 or 5 black women doing comedy and doing sketches. It's a sketch show, but it's funny.
yeah,
But there's a lot of stuff that you may not like as a man. You're probably like, oh, I don't get that. Like watching Bridesmaids. That was one of a kind because there was no real predominantly women-stricken comedy movies out there before Bridesmaids. Sure, maybe League of Its Own, if you can say that, I don't know, but it was of its like first of its kind, where it's just like women shitting in the street and women just calling each other cunts and stuff like that, and it's like, huh. This is raunchy for a woman. Like,
yeah. Well, that's the weird thing, because if it was a man, it'd be like, oh, this is boy humor. But
no, because if it was for a man, it would just be a movie.
Yeah,
it would just be like every other comedy movie. But it was for women, and it's just like, oh my gosh, like girls having to really shit and trying to be composed or whatever, and like, dealing with prior to marriages and stuff. Like it struck a different chord for women, I'm sure, where it's just like, oh, it's nice to be represented, and in a funny way. So I don't know, because you can say some things are just for those people, because there's a lot of like black comedy. It's just black people relate. Black people think it's funny. Where you can show a white person, they're just like, oh, I think I get it. But it's just what you've been exposed to, I guess.
Yeah.
It's what you can understand from what you've grown up with and what you've seen. Because it's like, oh, well, I don't get why red is so funny when Bert Kreischer says the flavor is red. It's obviously fruit punch or something like that.
You know, to be honest, the more we sit here and break it down, like, the less funny just comedy in general becomes. You know what I mean? Where it's like, it's funny because I grew it. That's enough. It's like, well, let's, you know what's good? We can figure out why things are humorous. It's like, shit.
Let me explain the joke.
Yeah, exactly. No, you couldn't get this as a person, just gatekeeping, just jokes in general. Just like, hey, you can't understand this because you didn't go to college in the summer of '84, and you're like, well, okay, he was right.
You didn't drive a Honda Civic, so therefore you can't relate with. But speaking of Honda Civics, what's a vehicle that? Segway. What's a vehicle?
Hit a fucking curb and got out the car. Just hey. So anyway, okay. Well, we're at Target now. It's like, motherfucker, that car is still moving.
What's a vehicle that will never be cool to drive, even if you like put the fucking NOS and neon lights and like you straight up have a Need for Speed Underground makeover with this car, or West Coast Customs makeover? What can you never make into a cool car?
Here's the thing.
No matter what.
The first car that's going to come to everybody's mind when this question gets brought up is a PT Cruiser. Here's my contention. If you have enough money, you can do something with the back of it. Like, you have enough money in there, I can figure out something to do.
I don't even think it's the back. It's the front. The whole body is just fucked.
No, here's my point.
It's built like the baby's head.
Yeah, your boy John rolls up to some function that y'all are having, pops the back of the trunk, and a fucking mini fridge comes out the back while you're at the beach. You're not gonna shit on his car because John's bringing the cooler. It's like
you're just like, well, he still drives a fucking PT Cruiser. Yeah. Oh God, that's dust.
Yo, it's just you can talk.
I haven't picked up this coffee mug in years. Oh fuck! Technical difficulties. Boo. But yeah.
I don't know. You could pimp a PT Cruiser. There's just too much real estate in there for it to be shitty the rest of its life. I believe that.
I got one. I got one for you. A Mini Cooper. Mini Cooper will never be cool.
You lose because the Italian Job exists. Period. End of story.
Bro, no, that doesn't make the car cool.
It does.
Anybody that brings up the
It
Italian Job does like it does not make it cool.
It does.
It is a why?
I don't.
Why?
I don't make
for
the,
whom?
I don't make the
for
rules,
whom?
dude. I don't make the rules. There's a whole. There's a whole eight movie franchise just based on cars looking cool.
Yeah, but it should have stopped at 2. So
Doesn't
and
matter.
the cars stopped being cool. The cars stopped looking cool at 2. They're no longer cool. They're just regular schmegular fucking cars. They're just regular cars now. They're just I got a one with the fucking magnet underneath and it also flies. Like, okay, what the fuck? Like, nigga, I don't give a fuck about I want to hear your flying car stories, nigga. Like
that Skyline, that Paul Walker Skyline in Fast and Furious was the sickest car ever. Ever.
I didn't get why. No, and the thing is, nobody wanted a Skyline until then. Until then.
Well, to be fair, they're also not made in America.
And when they came out originally,
they're not made in America. So, or you can't get them in America. So it's like it makes sense, but it's like, oh, people were asking about it. I mean, actually, the other day, when I was riding somewhere and I saw a Toyota Supra for the first time in forever, and immediately my mind jumped to that purple car or that orange Supra in that movie.
Yeah. I had a kid that I used to work with, and he drove a Supra. He drove a Supra, and I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
18 years old, just graduated high school, riding a Supra.
Yep.
And I'm like, what do you even know about that? And if you love cars, I guess you just you fuck with it. You're like, oh, I want a Supra. But the Mitsubishi Spider in Too Fast and Furious.
Yep.
Buddy, top drop, wanted it.
Yeah.
Wanted it.
Yeah, that Too Fast, Too Furious movie was just absolutely, I don't know. I mean, it really did change the way that like people looked at just I mean it's car culture, right? You know what I mean? Like it's like I'm trying to think what another good example of a movie that just introduces like a subculture and everybody's like, this is a neat thing that people do, and you're like, you used to bully these kids relentlessly in high school.
Never back down.
Pitch Perfect. Yeah, let me hang out with the chorus kids. Yeah, said nobody ever.
Pitch Perfect. Oh, I'm joining the Glee Club. Oh, so you mean it's a movie about a college campus where the main event of popularity is the Glee Club? Essentially, the different kinds of Glee Clubs that they have. Yeah, well, they're well known, but it's fun.
But
it's
they
like,
play the instruments with their mouths.
This is a fucking nerd movie.
Yeah.
Get out of my face. I'm sure that they threw those pitches so many times, and before someone just actually was like, all right, let's see it. And
we get Brittany Snow. I've got this other I got this other girl named Anna Kendrick. It's gonna work. Just believe
she plays
me.
with a cup.
Yeah.
She does this thing with a cup. Just wait for it. Just wait for it.
No. I've seen this one online. No, not that one. She does something else with a cup.
I've seen this before, and I don't want to make it a movie. No. That's a different thing. You know the girl from Twilight? She was like the friend, but not really in there. Yeah, her.
Bro, I've been watching Harry Potter, and I was just sitting there like, you know what? I'll culture myself and just do this whole thing. Just Robert Pattinson shows up. I'm like,
yep.
Grand opening, grand closing.
I'm Batman.
Dude, just immediately like, yeah, I'm here and I'm back out. Alrighty.
I can't commit to these things.
I'm a plot point.
You got there was you've seen Community, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you know Pop, that guy from Community, Maximus. Mm-hmm. That's the black announcer during the Quidditch game. Yes. Magnitude or whatever, whatever
Mhm.
his name was. That is the black kid from Harry Potter. That's how he just got in there.
Bro.
You want to talk about obscure people that you just hire for a show? That.
Dude, I was okay. So I'm rewatching The Wire, and the funny thing to me about HBO is that if you watch enough like mid 2000s HBO, you honestly just think that they just have a bank of actors that they just pull from and throw in fucking different situations. Like you get a random guy from the fucking Sopranos on The Wire.
Yeah, bro.
You've got fucking Michael C. Clarke, who plays an amazing character on The Wire, shows up later in Boardwalk Empire. It's like, okay.
It's well, see, I've been watching Grey's Anatomy, and there's so many people that are on like HBO and just everywhere. Just it seems like TV time actors are recycled in every
Yeah.
fucking thing. You get Jeffrey Dean Morgan, you get you remember the agent in Entourage, the
Sure.
girl agent?
Oh, the girl agent. Oh,
I
I know
think
who
her
you're
name is like
talking about.
Amanda
Yeah,
something.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, her who Ari's always trying to say like, "Oh, I'm gonna fuck you if I never was with my wife," and then he
Yeah.
ends up actually fucking her. Yeah,
Yeah.
her. She's in Grey's Anatomy. So many fucking people where I'm like, can y'all like how?
How about we
And
give
I'm just like,
literally anyone else a chance?
y'all just killing it. I'm sure money wise, but I feel like this could go to smaller people. Like these
Yeah.
roles can go to smaller people and help them out get bigger because y'all are already. But I don't know when these shows happen prior to other shows airing. But Entourage was 2005, like to 2012. So I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure right after this she hopped on the Grey's Anatomy, or she was doing it around the same time.
Yeah,
But
it's weird. Oh, if you want to see, I don't even know if I can consider this movie aging horribly, but maybe just a horrible movie that I forgot was so fucking bad was Mr. and Mrs. Smith. The mo-
I never saw it in its entirety.
you want to talk about if there's one movie that's going to break up a marriage, it's not going to be that for the plot, but it did happen. It's just unbelievable to me that like this shitty ass. It also the I had to have imagined the meeting was literally just like, okay, guys, let's get two of the biggest names in Hollywood, and we're gonna
Two of the
make it,
sexiest people in Hollywood.
and we're gonna make a movie that is solely surrounded by sexual tension. That's the entire fucking movie. It's just them like poking at each other, and then just
Aren't
like
they married though?
yes, but the point is that they have to kill each other. So like, oh, babe, you underestimate me. Like, are you satisfied yet? It's like not in 5 years. Just the whole fucking time of just these trite ass marriage jokes. But I will say, it is just like wild to like look at this thing and just being like, wow, this is what big budget 2005 was looking like. This was the summer blockbuster of Angelina Jolie. Okay, let's hit all the check marks on this one. Do we got Brad Pitt in the leading role? Yep. Do we have a shitty script? Yep. Okay, it's gonna be a dumpster fire.
Sells 200 million.
Yeah. Here's the problem. If you want a critically acclaimed movie, there's a couple things you got to follow. Number one, obviously have a good script, but number fucking two is Brad Pitt can be a supporting actor. You put Brad Pitt in the main role, movie's gonna suck dick. That's just the way things go. I don't make the rules.
Okay, Fight Club. Well, no, supporting technically.
Inglourious Bastards, great movie. Supporting.
Supporting. Benjamin Button, but like you said, I like it because I like that movie, but I'm sure most people are like, sucks. 2 hours of watching a man grow up in reverse.
Oh,
Why?
here's a. I mean, yeah, it's just it's the rules. I don't make them. I don't break them.
What? Name a movie. Dog, this is really bothering me because yeah, he's a great supporting actor. Me, okay. Yeah, no, I'm out. Count me out.
Yeah,
I want to walk off.
yeah. These are the realities of the world. That Brad Pitt is a supporting actor at best and has won an award for it, and that's all you have to say. But he can't carry a movie by himself. That's just the way it is.
Is does Troy count? Is he he's the main character technically, right?
Troy's not Gladiator. You know what I'm
Troy is fucking good. Let's get that straight. Like that whole like fight sequence where he just fucking murks that nigga in front of everybody in his family. That shit goes. But then, I don't know. I can't think of a movie and that's really fucking bothering me.
Mm-hmm. It's not fun because I like Brad Pitt, but
I do too. I really like Brad Pitt. He's a nice white guy. He seems like a nice white guy.
you've heard the story about him and Gwyneth Paltrow, right?
I don't think so,
Dude.
Did he like get her discharge or something?
Nah, so
'Cause,
nah.
yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow sells her discharge right now. I'm pretty sure as like soap
Okay.
or in crystals or some shit.
This is a long time ago in a different world, but I think it was she in Thelma and Louise? Was that the movie?
No,
Some movie that they were like doing near each other or starring me. I don't know. Maybe it was different movies, but the point was they were dating at that point. And I guess Harvey Weinstein invited Gwyneth Paltrow up to her hotel room. She got fucking skeeved out, as I'm sure a lot of people did, and went downstairs. And she was like, I don't really know what to do. So she called Brad Pitt and was like, yo, like, but this is a point where like maybe right after Thelma and Louise or right before, like a point where they're not like where they're at now. And so anyway, I guess Brad Pitt like figured out like some way to sit down with them and was like, yo, listen, if you ever put her in another situation like that again, I'm going to beat your fucking ass. I don't give a fuck if I don't have a career. I don't give a fuck if I go to jail, but you're not going to treat somebody like that. And like, that was the end of it. And they both like went on to have careers. This story came out like 3 years ago on the Howard Stern show. And I guess Gwyneth Paltrow told it. And then somebody heard that and then asked Brad Pitt about it on some daytime show. And he's like, I mean, what the fuck? Like, what are you gonna tell people about that? It's like I don't know. I did what I thought was best or whatever. But I guess Gwyneth Paltrow, after Harvey Weinstein had gone to jail, was like, all right, I can fucking tell people about this now. But I was like, God, Brad Pitt's a good dude. Shouldn't have cheated on Jennifer Aniston, but some say.
Was it Jennifer Aniston or Jennifer?
No,
bro.
Ben Affleck.
Hollywood's married
Affleck.
Everybody. Ben Affleck, I was to say Gardner, but he's now back with Jennifer Lopez, and you got Jennifer Aniston. Just stop with the fucking gens.
Quit fucking.
I'm over gens.
Everybody quit fucking.
Everybody got kid with everybody. You got, I don't know, man. We're talking about Hollywood a lot this episode. It's just
I mean, it's a good change up from the fucking general course of things of talking about boxing.
Yeah, boxing, and then we've talked about a lot about boxing.
Yeah, it was slowly turning into the fucking Logan Paul fucking MMA hour.
Well, June 1st is around the corner, so or is it June 6th? Yeah, June 6th. So we'll have something else to talk about boxing soon.
Yeah.
But so I got a question. Like, we're getting older now and stuff, and we have responsibilities as a soon-to-be 28-year-old and 27-year-old. Like, do you ever really feel like we're out here as adults? Like, do you ever think back to like what you were doing and then what you're doing now, and it's pretty much the same thing? You're just like, have I grown up?
Nah, my bills just got different numbers on them now. That's really the only difference.
I just have bills, and now I'm about to like have a kid too. That's gonna be more bills, and it's just like, can I be the adult that like we imagine our parents as just these figures of all knowledge, and then we get older and we realize that's furthest thing from the truth. They just don't know shit sometimes. And they just can't admit it because they've gone so many years of being the know-it-all that they've been talked about like from their kids. Because it's like, hey, do this. I'm going to teach you this way, this way, this way, this way. But really, it's like, hey, you don't know shit. You just got into this and you're rolling with the punches like I am. And it's just at the end of the day, I realize like at the end of the day, everybody is just rolling with the punches. How do you decipher like when you feel like an adult? Does it ever happen?
No, it literally never happens. I
Like
don't.
you could be 60 years old and still be acting like you were when you were 21. And I've seen it, and it's just like, nigga, you gonna grow up, but are we inclined to grow up, or what? Like, I don't know, man. This is are we high right now?
You good?
Did I just smoke a bowl and just felt like getting real philosophical? I mean, I'm out. Philosophical.
Philosophical, you fucking numbskull. Also, I just got another notification from Chipotle that said check in on Welly specifically.
Chipotle, your phone's listening to our podcast. It's listening to this entire conversation. Like, yo, what's going on?
It's like 12% of our viewers then.
Hey, numbers going up. Numbers going up. But yeah, no, it was just like one thing that I was thinking about when I was driving home in traffic, and it was just like, I don't feel like an adult, but like, I work like an adult job. I do adult things. I'm in an adult like house, but am I an adult?
As opposed to a fucking kid's house.
Yeah,
I got a kid mortgage.
Those Fisher Price. Everybody had those Fisher Price houses.
I got a car payment on a Tonka.
Can you just imagine, like, you just walk in one day, your kid's just like in their house, like, oh, it's playtime, and they're just like, can't right now, gotta pay the bills. You're like, what?
Smoking a candy cigarette.
Oh gosh, the wife is being a bitch today.
Crack.
Oh, my boss is being a real dick. Been a real hard ass this week.
Just imagine him walking in and taking off his suit fedora, hanging it on the thing, and just be like, and his wife's like, "What do you want for dinner?" And he's just like, "Right when I get through the door."
You just clipped so fucking hard. But it's just like, if I ever saw my kid just be like, oh man, I think about life all the time now. It's so hard. Nigga, you're 3. Don't mimic what I do.
There's so much funny about like a kid just walking through his Fisher Price playhouse and just slamming the door.
Just pacing.
And then just like, I don't know, like his wife just pouring pretend tea, just being like, he needs a minute when he gets back. He's gonna go upstairs and then just like drive the car. like drive like a little steering wheel up there.
Because those houses have steering wheels in them for some fucking reason. It's a house car. It's a houseboat too.
She's up there.
It's got that toy squeak horn.
and then he does like that little like baby leg kick. Like he just needs to relax for a minute.
Oh Jesus. I want to see this as a bit. I wish someone could like comedically put that better together.
I've been talking about shooting this short film for like I talked to you and somebody else about it, but I want to do it so bad, and like part of the premise is just like around that, but like super just
about babies doing real things.
Not babies, but like a kid like doing real ass things.
Like, I need to hear more, because you probably told me, but we were probably shit faces at the same time.
So the movie I want to shoot it in all black and white. But, so
I'm trying to get down to the mood of it.
Yeah, like just make it really fucking like old detective noir fucking style, but like have this like 7-year-old, like have this 7-year-old like be laying in bed, and then just like just a shot on him sleeping, and then like cut over to the alarm clock when it starts going off, and then just you hear a rustling. He's like, fuck. like that. Just like stretches his arms, and, like gets ready, and then like goes downstairs, and then has like a but like has his mom like pour him a
Make him coffee.
Yeah, pour him a cup of coffee like while he's doing up his tie. She's like, "Have a good day at work, sweetie," and he's just like, "Ah, fuck," and then just like walks out of the house, like at work, just
This cup of Joe is stale.
just
You wretched bitch.
just mundane as shit. Just his face just completely solid while a whole bunch of shit is just going on around him. And it's just something along the lines of just having a normal, like a 7-year-old kid, no questions asked, just go through a completely random ass day. I think would be so fucking funny. And and just make it super,
but have
super
no
serious.
soundtrack other than like ominous music every once in a while.
Yeah.
But it's just it's like Clerks.
Yeah,
where
yeah,
it's like the
exactly.
original Clerks, where it's just straight black and white, no like funny sound, background noise. Everything is what it is with audio, and just make it cars passing by, like dry, like or air just blowing in the wind,
Yeah.
no pop filters, just real life kid.
Yeah, but just stupid ass shit. Like when he drives to work, like be like, "Good morning, it's gonna be a wonderful day in LA County," and then he just clicks it off, and he's like, "Ugh."
There's no dialogue with him. It's just all these adults. What about if all the adults treated him like a human being?
No,
like
no,
a
that's
regular.
yeah. That would be the thing, and just old man grunts. He just does a whole lot
So
of
like
dad
not
shit.
his mom, it's his wife.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
It's his actual wife.
Yeah, stupid shit like that.
It's just like this 30-year-old woman, and he's him.
love you, honey, and then just like walks out the door. I fucking hate her. And
This sounds like what what Benjamin Button would have been if they actually stayed together, and she just said, "Fuck it." Like, I don't care if you're gonna be a kid. I love you, and he just goes on with life and just working the 9 to 5 with a child. Like, just imagine getting one scene of him carrying this 7-year-old carrying an actual baby.
I gotta watch. I've never seen it. Now I kind of want to watch it just because you said that. The fact that the fact that there's a moral dilemma in him aging down makes me laugh really fucking hard.
Oh, bro, it's amazing. It's amazing. Like, he has a kid. I'll tell you that much. But like the girl that he loves or whatever, her whole thing is like when they meet, she's like 12 and he's like 70, but he's also like maybe 13. He's like old as fuck, nigga.
No, dude.
But he's actually like 13 years old. And so at some point, like she's 40, but he's about 40 something. Like there's some point where they meet at the right age, around the same age. And then he gets younger and he shows up randomly and she's like fucked up because she's been dancing. I'm giving too much, but he just shows up and he's just this 20-year-old. And she's like, "You have a kid." And he's like, "I know." But she's like, "Benjamin, I can't deal with you being a kid while raising another kid." And that's their whole thing. It's good. Ryan and I loved watching it in high school because there's just this one part where he's senile, but he's 7, like your movie. So he's yelling and cursing at the people in the retirement home, but he's 7.
I'm not gonna watch this movie, but I am gonna go find every YouTube clip of this movie that I can find.
He's fucking 7 and he's senile. It's just people are like, "Oh, this is sad parts." Like, I remember someone like watching the movie in study hall, like kind of crying, and Ryan and I are just pissing our pants laughing because the idea of this baby old man, but then you have old man baby. I love the movie. It's 10 out of 10 for me. I fucking love that movie. Premise makes 0 sense, but it makes all the sense when you watch it. Oh man, it's also like 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna YouTube the shit out of this
It's
movie.
long as shit. So we broke it up in study hall to watch it like that whole week because we only had an hour. So it took us about like the entire week to watch just one movie.
That don't
It was,
matter.
it was phenomenal. It was so fucking good. Well, we had the 3 days that were regular days, which was like 45-minute classes, 47 minutes. Then we had our block days. So got you. I think that still doesn't matter. Maybe it's 3 hours.
It's a movie for sure. It is. No, that's actually great, and I do kind of want to go like see what this is all about because I'm really I'm really loving that premise. But yes, I would at some point like to shoot that stupid ass concept of a movie just to see what the fuck it looks like. You know what I mean? I don't even want it to do anything. I just want to see what the fuck it would actually look like on paper. But then
Yeah, so Quinn invested all his money into. Oh wow, that's really good. Like, did it go? Well, he pitched it at Sundance, and a lot of people were skeptical with it. And then it went to another movie organization, and people didn't really like it. So where's Quinn now? Oh, he's out. He's out under the freeway.
yeah,
Just
like-
assed out. But he made that movie. He's
Yeah.
right. That's all you hear him say is, "I made that fucking movie."
I'm just imagining the situation in which that movie gets made and I send it off to like Toronto or fucking Cannes or whatever.
Cans. That's what I wanted to say. Nice, but I'm just like, no, it's Cans.
And they're like, he's being lauded as the next great director. It's like I have zero ideas. It's like
you're
well,
fucking Billy Walsh.
is this
they make it into color. They ruined my fucking movie.
so
Those
like,
fucking cocksuckers ruined my movie.
is this a commentary on the anxiousness of modernity? It's a baby doing people stuff.
You just deadpan. It's just a baby doing adult stuff. That's it.
So-
Doing regular shit.
So is it? Do you think that this reflects the schisms between classes in American society? He goes to work with a tie, but he's 7.
It's hilarious.
Babies shouldn't be drinking coffee.
They can't process that much caffeine at once. They would be off the walls. But this baby is regular like an adult.
Cryptic new director is facing claims that his movie encourages pedophilia because his wife is 30 and the child is 7. It's a movie with a baby that acts like an adult. just nobody fucking understands it, and I turn into fucking Tommy Wiseau.
Except you don't take your movie seriously, but everybody else does. So stop me myself. It's like, oh, this is my movie. Why do you laugh? Because it sucks. And you're just gonna be in the theater. Why aren't you laughing? Because it sucks.
Oh my god. This is a pile of shit. You get the point of the movie.
Best case scenario, you're a brilliant mind amongst Scorsese and like Peter Jackson. You're just up there. You groundbreaking shit. That's the comedy movie that we're looking for in this world now. Quinn, you got to be the one to do it. That's the new direction of comedy movie.
Worst case scenario, I have a very short VHS tape with my hopes and dreams on it. With nowhere to plug it in.
This shit's so bad. It went to VHS, not Blu-ray, not DVD, not even live or on streaming networks. Straight to VHS. They had to create a fucking tape for this movie if you want to watch it, because it's been blocked on everything.
Go straight to Betamax. You're like, that's a dead platform. It's like, you have no idea. The only people still willing to print it is people who love making Betamax tapes for a living. They did it for me as a favor.
Oh my god. Oh wow. Jeez.
Yo,
Now I really want to see this movie.
speaking of, last thing I'll say, speaking of dead mediums, by the way, I get an email. So I'm gonna out myself here, but I got an email from Spotify about two different artists that I listened to. The first was, hey, you're in the top 10% of people who listen to Faye Webster. We're giving you an exclusive chance to buy a printed vinyl. I was like, cool. Also, yikes. I did not realize that I was that high up in my Faye Webster numbers. Second thing, I was like, oh, that'd be cool to like get a vinyl, but also, I'm not in the market for a vinyl right now. I get an email about a week later. Hi, you're one of the top, and this one didn't have a percentage. You're one of the top Billie Eilish listeners. This is a chance to pre-order her new album on cassette. And I was like,
Who's this for?
what am I supposed to like? I was complaining.
Oh yeah, let me put in my 8-track in my car. Like,
I was complaining because I was like, cassettes weren't even considered good when they were going. You know what I mean? It's like cassettes weren't even good at doing the job that they were doing, and like it was just a small. We can't put a record player in the car, so here's a cassette. Versus like,
but you get 3 songs, but of the same song. It's just different versions. One instrumental, normal version, and then just acapella.
And then I gotta flip it over, go to side B.
Yeah. Featuring remix. I had that with Biggie's. What was it? The one after he died. Can't think of it right now. Something not remastered. I think it's just Notorious, but I had that cassette tape, and it was all I listened to because that was the only piece of music that I had, and I was like 7, or not 7. How old was I? I was not that old. Shut up. Don't say yup.
Yup.
I was like 4.
Listening to Biggie, you didn't have a shot in this world.
Who shot you?
You walking around just pow.
With my Nerf gun.
Yeah, and then me and my my kitchen listening to Tupac's greatest bits. Tupac's greatest hits. That's why I shot your bitch, you fat motherfucker. Get money.
Fuck you, die slow. All you bad boys niggas.
My mom's standing in the back of the in the kitchen, just being like, I think I fucked up my soup.
All right, we're done with this. we gotta go. Quinn, where can they find you?
As usual, Quinn tweets on all major platforms.
All right, and y'all can find me at Welly Boyce on Twitter and Wellington Boyce on Instagram and TikTok. And if you aren't subscribed to our YouTube channel, you need to go fucking do that because we're posting. This is episode 16, baby. We out here for 16 fucking weeks doing this day in, day out, kind of, but not really. But y'all need to go subscribe to our channels, subscribe to the Apple Podcasts app of us, and on what is it, Spotify.
Nice.
All right. So we'll see y'all next fucking week. Bye.
Bye.